I'm Chris, that's Tyler, and Tyler, I want to know what you think the biggest threat to a potential Ryan Day Ohio State dynasty is.
That's a good question. In the immediate future, I'm going to say Dan Lanning in Oregon because they look really good right now.
They're not getting talked about a lot.
No, but my other one is if Kirby Smart fires Mike Bobo. That is a problem because Mike Bobo stinks.
I think Mike Bobo's really bad, dude. I think he's the biggest threat to a Kirby Smart dynasty, and I think he has effectively slowed it down or potentially halted it because I think he's bad there.
Yeah. So, in regards to the Georgia thing, like Gunnar Stockton threw 30 some passes against Austin Peay and didn't throw a touchdown pass. How does that happen?
Gross. Like we saw Julian Sand had 3 touchdown passes in his first 10 attempts. Like it's all cupcakes, right? Like you're Georgia, you recruit the very best.
Do they have NFL receivers there? I don't know.
They have Zion Branch.
Okay,
or Zachariah Branch, excuse me.
NFL receiver.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of been Kirby's like, what do you think would have happened? We'll do a revisionist history here. We'll go back, a big what if for you. What if Kirby Smart placed Justin Fields instead of Jake Fromm when Justin Fields was a freshman?
They win a natty. I mean, we saw one great coach do what the other great coach wouldn't do, right? Like Nick Saban at one point, offense was the thing hindering him, or at least slowing down his natty. He had Jalen Hurts. It would have been easy to play Jalen Hurts all throughout and easy to play him in that natty game. But he made the switch, right, to Tua and ended up winning a game. I mean, if we sit back and look at it, Kirby Smart had the chance to do the exact same thing, right? Except for Jake Fromm is a way more limited passer than Jalen Hurts and a way more limited player. And he wouldn't make the flip to someone who is of that same caliber player, right?
Correct. I feel like Kirby Smart looks at offense as if it's like a don't fuck it up type of thing.
Well, isn't that the defensive head coach mindset? Like, just don't mess it up. Our defense will take care of the rest.
Correct. And it's like, it's almost as if he hires, I don't know if he hired Todd Monken. So that was a great hire.
But Todd was what? Todd was run first, death by 1,000 cuts. Todd was in the NFL. Like that offense wasn't open it up. Honestly, that's like a head coach's favorite offense because that offense was designed to limit mistakes. And it's just that he got the can and got kicked down because of Baker Mayfield.
Do you think Kirby doesn't hire? Does he tell them that's what he wants? Or do you think he hires people that align with his thinking?
I think he needs people that align with his style of thinking. And I think like part of the NFL model too is like we won't open it up because we don't want to make the mistake to get someone going.
And the reason why I think Ryan Day is putting himself in a position to have a dynastic run is Ryan Day will always protect the offense. He will never let the offense be bad.
Yeah.
But the thing that he does is he allows the defensive coordinator to do their job until proven otherwise. Did you see the quote he gave today about Matt Patricia? There was a question that was asked. He's asked about who made the call for him to be for Matt Patricia to be on the field. And Ryan Day said, I left it up to him. I just told him to get off the field on third down.
Bars.
That is a man who all he cares about is winning football games.
Yeah.
He said, I left it up to him. Just get off the field on third down.
Just get off the field on third. I mean, that's kind of how he's approached things, right? Because remember, he tried to force Kerry Combs to run the cover 3 thing that Jeff Hafley ran. And like that didn't end up working out. And obviously, like, you know, when he hired Jim Knowles, it was about being the head coach of the defense.
Right.
And if he needed to step in, he would. And he felt like he needed to kind of the last year. And obviously, that's where some of the friction came from. But then with Matt Patricia, like when you go get an NFL guy, it's like, I don't care what you do. Just do it. I don't want to have to think about it, right?
Yeah. And that's
when you're a boss, that's what a good employee makes you do.
Yeah. And think about all the extra things that a head coach in college football has to do now. Not just like if he's an offense guy or a defense guy, like just put aside the football stuff.
You got to fundraise.
You got to make sure that your players are doing what they're supposed to do. You got to be talking to athletic directors and presidents and board of trustees and and donors and like
Compliance?
all that stuff. I mean, I'm sure Doug Archie is in. Like he talks to Doug Archie probably way too much,
Way more than he wants to, dog.
probably way more. And it's just like, and he's also trying to mentor a young offensive coordinator
And quarterback coach.
and quarterback coach. So it's just like I think Ryan Day tends to learn lessons the hard way in the most like untimely situations, but he does a decent job. Not he's not perfect at this, as you and I had discussed. But he rarely makes the same mistakes twice. He has before, but when it comes to his hiring, he's made mistakes.
Kerry
Gary
Combs
Combs
hire.
was a mistake, and I think if he would have doubled down last year on Brian Hartline, that would have been a mistake, but he didn't.
No, he tries to correct his mistakes pretty quickly. Even the Kerry Combs year, he ended up giving play calling, I believe, to Matt Barnes, like in an attempt to kind of salvage it. And with the Brian Hartline thing, when he made the mistake, he didn't try to force Brian Hartline to go out there and call plays. What did he go do? Call plays himself.
Yeah. So, like, as long as he can continue to hire the right defensive coordinator, I think he's going to be in a position to be fine. The question that I think I know the answer to is how important is it now? How much less important is it to have great recruiters over great X's and O guys because of NIL?
Yeah, I guess it depends on like what do you think is a better recruiter? Like having a recruiter and identifying a kid, or having money and forcing a kid to say yes?
I think at Ohio State you have to still be a good recruiter because Ohio State does not play ball like the teams that spend a bunch of money. That's not how
And
they play.
I think also for Ohio State that the NIL stuff might be a filter to some extent, because think about it, Tyler, like with the NIL stuff, you should be able to identify pretty early who's in it for the short-term money versus who's in it for the long haul.
And I think Ohio State, I think they pay you once you have become a good player.
Mhm.
I mean,
Look,
what's Jeremiah Smith making? What is
there was
Jeremiah Smith making? Like $5 million?
I don't know what he's making. I do know I don't know. I'm not, and if I did, I'm not saying it here. I do know there was an article that came out today, and I read the tweet. I need to read the full article. But in the tweet, it said that Ryan Williams is the second highest paid receiver in college football. And it wouldn't mention who was the first highest paid.
Because we
But
all know.
But the quote from Ryan Williams was, Jeremiah Smith had a better year than me. I'm looking to flex on him now.
Yeah.
Would suggest that Jeremiah is the highest paid.
Correct. So it's just like if you come here, and I think the thing that's if Ryan Day can pull off another one, the recruiting is going to sell itself because, like, especially with NI, correct me if I'm wrong, like the whole NIL thing, the collective bargaining, is that on the back burner or is it just being pushed a year?
I think that nobody knows how to attack it because no one knows how much power the NCAA has, because the NCAA basically came out and said, we can't enforce NIL stuff. We're sorry.
I think honestly, if you're asking me my final answer on the original question of who's the biggest threat to Ryan Day's creating a dynasty, it's Ohio State.
Oh,
and their board and their board of trustees and their compliance and all that.
I hate to say this, but think about think about Ryan Day at Texas.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like, dude,
just because like they don't like at Ohio State, you have all the resources, but you're still playing with ankle weights.
Yes.
And so like
yeah, just imagine if Ohio State played by the same rules that Texas played with.
Oh, it'd be disgusting because we already have ungodly resources and we don't play by those rules.
Correct. So it's just like that's my final answer. Because I think Ryan Day, something about the way that he's talking and the way that he looks and the way that he's walking and moving and just like the moves that he's making, the way that he's like the tone of his voice, it just seems like a weight has been lifted. One of the weights has been lifted off his shoulders.
Yeah.
And now he knows that he's like the guy. Because I think Ryan does care about what other people think about it inside the football circle.
I think that's irrefutable.
He cares what football people think of him.
Mm-hmm.
And now that he's a national champion head coach, there's nothing that football people can say that he can't do now, except for the one thing. But even those people don't really even care. That's his own fan base that cares about that. The NFL people and the college football national people, they don't care that he's struggling to beat Michigan. They just know that every year they win 10 or 11 games, and every year they're in the national championship conversation, and then he's now won one. That's all they care about.
Like supremely talented now too.
Yeah, and it's just like they're completely reloading. So I think at the end of the day, as long as he can keep the main thing, which is keeping the offense good, hiring a great defensive coordinator, fundraising, and just being who he is as, the head coach of Ohio State and walking like that, it's like, I call it when you take your first step, you've already been in the room, if you know what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're feeling a certain type of way.
Did you come up with that, or someone told you that?
I've been saying that one for a while. So, yeah, I'm. It's a great time to be an Ohio State fan, people. So jump on and ride the wave, and don't stop being the lunatic fringe, because the lunatic fringe is a big reason why Ohio State's been the best program for the last 50 years.
100% agree. 100% agree. I also think the playoff, you've said this 100 times, and the more I think about it, the more true it is. The playoff benefits him so much. He gets to flex that he's a big-time NFL guy, and if you give him that extra time, and I'm going through NFL playoffs, and I got to deal with this, cakewalk, easy work, easy money. Like Floyd said, that's easy work.
Anytime Ryan Day has extra time to prepare, it's an advantage us.
Extra time and tape on you, he's the very best at that. Like, that's one of his huge advantages.
Yeah. So he will find the mistake, he'll find the flaw, and then he'll attack it.
Yeah. So. Would you give him flowers? Goodness, stutter. We were just talking about that. Would you give him flowers if they played Michigan week 1 of the playoffs and he had a bye and he absolutely bow raced them? Would that erase everything for you?
Yeah.
It would. Okay, I'm just curious.
If I saw Ryan Day treat Michigan like 2018, 2019 Ryan Day, brother, nothing would please me more. Nothing. And like, speaking of Michigan, you were going to ask me a question, and I want you to go ahead and ask that question.
Well, there's like 2, right? Okay, I'll ask the first one. Would you celebrate a Sherrone Moore extension?
So I'm gonna say something about Sherrone Moore before I answer that question. I think Michigan fans are starting to realize that if Sherrone Moore was as good as a coach as they thought he was, he would be in LA with Jim Harbaugh and Alex Minter.
Whoa.
Jim Harbaugh raided the whole cupboard and left the old can of corn
to fall on the sword.
Yeah. If he was as good as a coach as everybody in Michigan thinks he was or is, he would be in LA. Why would Jim Harbaugh not take him? He took everybody else. Everybody. The goddamn strength coach. He took a strength coach to the NFL, and all those NFL guys don't even listen to that guy.
Mm-mm.
They have their own guys.
Everybody has their own trainer, and he just took this guy just for moral support.
Correct. So if you're asking me, I believe, and maybe I just want to believe this, and you can call me the Michigan hater that I am, because best believe I am a Michigan hater. I always say, I respect the rivalry, I respect them, but I hate them.
Yeah, no, you've been really consistent with that. That's real. That's real from Tyler.
I think Sherrone Moore last year rode the wave that the Michigan program had against Ryan Day, and I think it comes to an end. Because now Sherrone Moore is he won that game, and it almost felt like he got a pat, like he was like he can do no wrong. But Sherrone Moore still needs to win more than 8 games.
I was gonna say somebody on Menace said the super chat that win over Ohio State and that win over Alabama was the worst thing to happen because Michigan then convinced themselves, oh, we're going to be back with the elite. This is just a down year, and Sharon Moore's the guy. That those two games proved that he's the guy. And when they really, in reality, are more of a Ryan Day mental block issue, and then you caught a Kalen DeBoer team that Florida State showed us isn't that good anyway.
Right. I think, again, and I said it in the last show, the reaction show, or not a reaction show, just our. I don't think Sharon Moore in Michigan know how to scheme the pass game. I don't think they know how.
It's like those old LSU teams, isn't it?
Yeah, and before they got Joe Brady.
Yeah, like it's those old LSU
I don't
teams.
think
Look up and it's like, have they discovered the forward pass yet? Like, what are we waiting on?
When have we ever seen, like, under Harbaugh, you never saw like bubble screens and running side to side, and like that wasn't a thing. It was smash mouth, down your throat, play action, over the middle, easy read throwing game. Like, you knew what it was. And it just, to me, like, when I watched that Oklahoma game, I was like, why are they throwing bubble screens? First of all, those guys aren't even dynamic enough to break one of those to begin with.
Yeah, being at Michigan and throwing bubble screens has to be disgusting. I don't care what anybody says. Like, that's disgusting.
So the answer to your question is, I wouldn't celebrate it, but I definitely actually no. I don't know if I would. I don't think I could ever celebrate.
Can I answer first and then you give your answer?
Yeah,
I wouldn't celebrate it, but you know the Grinch, that grin he has.
Yes,
I would be in my room.
That's That's exactly what I was trying to say. That's exactly what I'm trying to say.
Like, so I would be in my room, door closed, camera off, with the Grinch grin.
Correct. It's exactly what I mean. And I want to follow up another follow-up question. Having watched what Nico is now going through and what he did, what he left, I don't think Bryce can leave. If Bryce doesn't have the numbers and the stats because he looks bad in a Michigan offense, and he's like, fuck, I'm out of here. Like, I don't want to do this. He's not going to get the same money somewhere else. He's damaged goods.
You know where I'll push back? If he leaves after this year, he's good. If he waits 2, he's bad. If you go right now, enough people will look at Michigan.
That's what I was asking you. Like, would he be looked at as damaged goods?
Dog, January. Here we go. Would you view Lagway as damaged goods at the end of the year?
I'm looking at DJ Lagway as damaged goods right now.
I would if I didn't have a quarterback, I would come here, DJ Lagway. And here we go. LSU, they would absolutely take Bryce Underwood in a heartbeat for the same money they recruited him for.
You think so?
Yeah, because think about it. Like, now he's a quarterback.
I was just curious. I was asking. I didn't know.
I think he'll have a taker if he leaves this year. If he waits 2 years, then you start to look at him judgment-wise. Are you an idiot? Like, you knew they did not have the infrastructure to make you successful. Like, right? Like, you know what my thing is? I don't understand how if I'm a coach from any other school, I'm calling Underwood, I'm calling Lagway. You know what I'm asking? First question. Do you know who Anthony Richardson is? And no matter what they say, I'm saying, look in the mirror, because that's you right now. I might send him the Spider-Man meme, AR-15, Spider-Man meme with you. Because Anthony Richardson at Florida, everybody saw all the tools, right? Everybody sat here and looked like, man, he'd be really good if he got developed. And the coaching staff failed him. Now, he ended up being a top 10 pick, but their career's not. Like, here we go. Billy Napier's about to waste 2 potential first-round quarterbacks.
Oh, Billy Napier's not making it through the year.
I'm saying, like you had Anthony Richardson and Lagway. And if I'm anybody tampering with Michigan, I'm saying the same thing. It's not like Drake May where, I'm able to open this offense up. We're bad, but at least I'm able to open it up and show off what I can do. Dog, I'm an Ohio State fan. I got pissed when Ohio State ran bubble screens. We got the best receivers in the world.
What do you think would have to happen for Michigan to fire Sharon Moore? Because let me tell you right now, do you know what his buyout is?
It's got to be low, because I think he's going to make it $5 million a year.
$4 million buyout. 4. Dave Portnoy can pay that.
Dog, literally, that's what Underwood's making next year.
Bro. Your quarterback is making the same amount of money as your head coach? Oh.
Yeah, bro, you're Underwood. You go to the boosters. Honestly, can y'all fire him? I'll pay the buyout.
I mean,
Just kidding.
here's the honestly, and I might be way behind and slow on this, but like, do you think Michigan hired Sharon Moore, gave him the job because they didn't think anybody else would want the job because of the sanctions that we thought were coming?
I think they were trying to have the illusion of we have our coaches back, and I thought maybe before the sanctions came out, they thought maybe there would be tough sanctions and they could fire him without the buyout and have a pretty sizable.
But the buyout being $4 million, that's nothing to Michigan. Absolutely nothing.
No,
$4 million
you're right.
is nothing.
But I think honestly, I thought that they were doing.
I mean, the buyout of the original contract was a $5 million, and it decreases by $1 million each year.
Honestly, I think that they thought he would just coach through sanctions, and just wear it.
Like he wanted this job so bad that he would take anything, and he took it.
Yeah,
and they have the out now. Like if they're bad again, let's see. So they have Central Michigan so they'll win that game. That Nebraska game is going to be crazy,
dude.
That Nebraska game looks way different.
I think Nebraska's good too.
And they have a bye. Then they have Wisconsin at home, which they'll win. At USC, because if USC keeps playing like they're playing, I think USC probably wins that game too. So that's now. Now we're talking 3-3. Washington at Michigan State, Purdue. I'll say they win those. I'm going to say let's just for argument's sake, they'll win those 3 games, 6-3. Then they have a bye. Then they have Northwestern, Maryland, and then Ohio State. So let's just say they go 8-4 again. Or no, yeah, they go 8-4. Does he survive that? Does it depend what the 8-4 looks like?
It depends on what the 8-4 looks like. Because Zach told me today that he thinks it's more about how it looks when they lost instead of them actually losing.
Like, I think honestly, it's what Bryce Underwood looks like. If Bryce Underwood struggles all year and doesn't look like he's improving, Sharon Moore's got to go, right?
Well, the thing is, aren't they the exact like? I think that more of the issue is you're Sharon Moore. What is your program supposed to be good at? Trenches, tough football, run the ball, right? And I think the Bryce Underwood thing, I think you maybe are playing the game a certain way because you made a promise to him, but you don't have the infrastructure to play the game that Bryce Underwood wants to play. I think is the big issue. I had a former player, I'm not going to say who, send me some All-22 screenshots from the game, and it was the first drive to the last drive, and it was Oklahoma safeties being 10 yards back the entire game.
Yeah, I mean, that's them saying, like, I don't believe either. It's either one or two things. They don't believe that the quarterback can make the throw, or they don't believe that the wide receivers can get open.
Yeah.
And my personal opinion is the wide receivers can't get open because they've never had good receivers, and I think they're worse than they've ever been. As much as I made fun of Roman Wilson, like Roman Wilson is a star on this current team.
Superstar. Samaj Morgan called someone the B word, and that might be his greatest accomplishment as a receiver.
Yeah, man.
Samaj Morgan.
Yeah, I think there's a few. I think Michigan and Alabama and Florida. Well, they're cooked, but Alabama and Michigan, 2 blue bloods, are very much like their shit is they're like on the log, and they're running as fast as they can to try to stay above water.
I'm gonna drop this for you, and I don't know if I should. I've had a long day though, Tyler. Someone who talks to Notre Dame boosters a lot told me about a year and a half ago about somebody that was waiting on the Michigan job to open up. And that's really what they wanted. That was their dream job. I think I've told you this off camera. Do you know who that person was?
Kalen DeBoer.
Are the stars gonna align? Because is it like my belief is that Kalen DeBoer is not coaching the way that we know he can coach because he's so worried about keeping the talent in the room. And I've had that confirmed by somebody else in media and what they're hearing as well. And it's like he never was a good coach because of that. He was a good coach because he was able to maximize players who weren't highly recruited. And now, like, we're stripping away Kalen DeBoer of the one thing he's really good at, and it's maximizing lesser players or lessly, more developmental projects. Wouldn't that be the perfect trait to have for a Michigan head coach?
Mm-hmm. Speaking of Alabama,
yeah,
I mean, their schedule might be one of the toughest schedules in college football. I know we like to make fun of the SEC, but like Georgia's a good football team, Tennessee's a good football team, South Carolina's a good football team, LSU's a good football team, and we think Oklahoma's a good football team. Well, they play all 5 of them.
Dude, I think Oklahoma's really good.
So, like, I mean, they play probably the 5 best teams in the SEC.
It's like, what is it? What's the meme? God, stop giving me your toughest tests. It's
Why
like,
aren't you dead yet?
Yeah, why are you not dead yet?
I mean, at Georgia, Tennessee at home, at South Carolina, LSU at home, Oklahoma home. Their only saving grace is they have those 3 games. They have those 3 games at home.
Look up Kalen DeBoer's bio for me. I want to get your live reaction.
I already know it is. It's $70 million.
No,
the question I have, yeah, I looked it up the other day. The question I have is, I don't know if we talked about this.
Yeah,
we talked about this when they lost. $70 million for him. I want to say another $10 million for his assistant coaches.
Mm-hmm.
That's 80. And then if they want to hire somebody who's currently has a job, let's just say that's another 20 to be just safe, on a low end, $20 million buyout for a coach that they would want. That's $100 million. You think Alabama has $100 million to spend? I don't know if they do.
That's
then
a lot,
man. They got to pay him. And the Alabama coach is going to make at least $8 million a year, right? At least. So we're talking 100 and let's just say round it off at $110 million transaction. Can Alabama afford to do that?
No booster is going to want to swallow that at all. Pause.
Hell no.
They don't.
They're stuck, bro.
I mean,
he's not going anywhere unless he leaves.
That would be the second largest buyout paid by the university in. Second highest ever, and
behind
it would
Jimbo.
only be behind Jimbo. Yeah, because
what was Jimbo, like 75?
It was like 80, 90.
Yeah, plus his assistants, plus the Mike Elko's buyout.
And it's like if you
sure wasn't that much, but
like if you want to hire a coach, and here's the thing, just real quick, 2 parts. I think Oklahoma's a really, really good football team. So I'm not overreacting to the Michigan loss. I think they lost to a really good, potentially top 10 team by the time it's all said and done with a freshman quarterback. I think they're really good. It's just how they lost looked bad. DeBoer, you're the most talented team in the country. And like you lost to Florida State, like that was supposed to be easy. So like for them, I think they're stuck with DeBoer, and that's part of why they wanted such the high buyout. But it's going to be a topic. Like they're in behind closed doors. They're going to be having those talks about his contract.
I mean, you make a good point about the way he's coaching and like how it's a problem. But put yourself in the shoes of the players that got to play, that played for Nick Saban as well. Like it's like when the teacher is gone and you have a substitute teacher there.
Literally, that is the perfect analogy for it.
That's what it's like. Mm-hmm. Are you going to listen to that guy when not only is you're not Nick Saban. Nick Saban is upstairs, bro.
Yeah.
He's got an office in the building still. Like the shadow of Nick Saban is so large that I don't know if even the next coach can get away from that shadow. I think they're going to swing and miss, and then they'll hit. I think they're going to get to 3. They're going to get to 2 strikes, and they're going to have to hit. So it's just like, but I don't know. I don't think Alabama is going to pay $100 million.
And then to tie this back to Ryan Day is taking over and looks like he's got it figured out at a time where Michigan doesn't have full faith in their coach. From the looks of it, I mean, I'm seeing Brady Hoke commentary on him, where Alabama isn't all in on their coach, which we can all see, where Kirby Smart is still trying to figure out the offensive side of the football, where the guy who maybe should challenge Ryan can't beat Ryan, and that's Sark. And then that leaves Dan. That leaves Dan in Oregon, who honestly, I would rank them if I had a poll, which I deserve. I deserve a bow now that I've heard the AP voters speak. if I had a poll, I would rank them the number 2 team in the country. But I feel like nationally, they're not getting love, and I don't really know why. And I want your thoughts on why you think they're being slept on nationally.
I think the big thing is every time. So last year, Oregon's non-conference schedule was shit. This year, it is again shit. The last time we saw Dan Lanning play a good non-conference game, they got their doors blown off at home against Kirby Smart. Was that at home? Or was that on the road?
That was at Oregon.
Okay. And it's not fair because like Ohio State came to their town last year, number 1 team in the country, super talented, eventual national championship, and they beat them. And so it's just like everybody's waiting. Okay, show us. It's like for some reason Oregon, as a whole, as a program's history, it's always like, yeah, but like show us when you play somebody for real. Because like I struggle to remember big non-conference Oregon football games. Like I personally struggle. I could like you might know more because you.
I mean, I do, but I also can acknowledge that like I'm a sicko and I'm part of like the 1% of fans. Like I am a unwell human, Tyler.
So
like here we go. You know how unwell I am? I saw that Michigan State was playing USC at 11 p.m. and I got so happy.
Yeah, I'm not staying up for that.
That's what I'm saying. Like I am a.
But then, I also say that actually I'm correcting myself. They came to the Horseshoe in 2021 and beat us.
Yeah.
So like and that was a non-conference game.
Do you know who the OC was?
Joe Moorhead. Shout out Akron.
Bang.
Except Akron still hasn't scored yet in 2025. Hey, I went to school there too, dog.
Yeah, we were. Me and Tyler went to school together. Never spoke. Tyler. You know what a fun fact about us? Me, you, and my mom all went to Akron at the same time.
Wild times. So I don't know. I think the problem with this year, if you had to ask me why they're not getting talked about this year, is because the way that Ryan Day beat him in the Rose Bowl last year. That was a beating. Like considering the situation, the environment, what was at stake, that was the same beating that he just gave fucking Hillbilly Gundy.
Hillbilly Gundy. It's funny because and I want to say this, and I don't want to come across as like super disrespectful, but do you have the same feeling about Oregon right now as you did about Notre Dame about 5 or 6 years ago? Like it looks good during the regular season, but then I saw you got your doors blown off.
No, I feel better about this Oregon team than that.
Okay, is it because of skill players?
I think they have good players,
like skill players.
Yeah, I think they have they just have players that run fast. Notre Dame's never had players that run fast.
Yeah.
So it's to me, they're going to get their shot. Like they're going to get the shot. They're going to travel to Penn State. They're going to play that game. It's going to be at night. And if anybody knows what Beaver Stadium is like at night, it's a different place, man.
Yeah.
And I'm excited. I can't wait to watch that game. They're going to and they both are going to be able to answer a lot of questions. Because, like, the thing about it, too, the thing that's nice and the thing that we're enjoying as Ohio State fans is, like, people know who we are.
Yeah.
So we're getting our flowers. Penn State and Oregon, we don't know who they are yet. Oregon's like the fresh new that we don't know yet. And Penn State's, people were watching Penn State like, we don't know all these players. Like, show us that you're different. Yeah, show us that this is different than before.
People are really down on Drew Aller right now, too.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. It's here's I'm gonna.
The point of this is that there's one primary threat coaching wise that concerns me, and it's Dan Lanning. Everything else I think we got, unless Kirby Smart, does a line of coke and goes and hires Garrett Riley from Clemson. Like those are the two things that worry me the most.
Correct. Yeah, Dan Lanning, and the thing is, like, it's scary because Dan Lanning's in our conference.
Yeah.
And maybe that's honestly better because that means Ryan Day will keep an eye on him even more.
Yeah, like, it will keep you on track. And the reason, honestly, I said this about Miami, but the reason Miami and Oregon have my attention in a little bit of a different way is because those are the two teams when I look up and down the roster, I see a bunch of kids that they beat Ohio State for, like down to the wire.
You talking about Oregon? Or you talking about Miami?
Both.
I'm still not worried about Miami.
Well, they have my attention. I'm like side-eyeing them because like more Oregon, but definitely Miami. You look at their roster, and it's a bunch of kids that they beat Ohio State on down the stretch.
You know what Miami is?
Well, okay.
You know who Miami is?
Who's
Miami? Miami is the toddler who you know hasn't taken their nap yet, but is having a good time, and you're just waiting for the crash. You're waiting for the tears. That's who Miami is.
Spoken like a true father of two littles.
The toddler, you know he has a nap. It's like 6:45. You're like, oh, he's having so much fun. But you know, in like 15 minutes, this whole world is coming to a crash.
Yeah, it's coming to a crash. It's going to a crash.
So,
that's a good college football segment. I do want to switch gears. The Guardians.
dude, 5 in a row. They won 5 games in a row.
Bingo.
I mean, listen.
Are you in yet? Because you have 2 interests: playoffs and you're gambling.
Yeah, I need them to get to 83 wins. If they get to 83 wins, then I win my 80. Because I placed a bet on the 82.5 season win total. So there's that. Listen, the biggest question, like, let me first say it. I said this last show. I'm very proud to be a Guardians fan because the Guardians culture is showing itself to their fans, to regionally baseball fans.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they're showing is everybody like this AL Central. We're not going to win the AL Central this year, but we are going to have a direct impact, and you guys are going to feel us at the end of the season, no matter what. And this stuff still comes through Cleveland, and they're going to fight, and they're going to pitch their ass off and compete in the zone with below average stuff. To be honest with you, and they're scoring, and Jose Ramirez is now. The paper is lit. It's not burning yet, but the paper has now been lit. He was 3 for 4 today with a bomb. And he's just not letting this offense, read the clippings. Listen to Tyler talk shit about how they hit out of the worst offense in baseball.
It's funny because like you'll do it for a week, they'll pop off one time, and then it'll go away for another week.
That's the problem.
Yeah. Like,
and like
you
they can't afford it for it to go off. I mean, they have 18 games left, and they need to go 14-4 in those 18 games if they want to make the playoffs. Not only do they have to go 14-4, they need help.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So it's like it's just one of those things. The question that I have is this a team that can actually cause somebody problems? Because if they make the playoffs, they'll be the 6th seed and they'll go to Houston.
I think they're a headache for Houston.
You think they're a headache? You think they'd be a headache for Houston?
I think they're a headache for anybody. In fact, I was talking to a Yankees guy from a different show, shout out Fireside, and he was saying like fuck the Guardians. Like, there's a pain in the ass. Like, everything about them is a pain in the ass.
The only way that this version of the Guardians can make a noise in the playoffs is if Jose Ramirez and Kyle Manzardo and Steven Kwan are just like carrying this offense. Like, they're the one. If they are just okay, not good enough, because the rest of the crew isn't going to be able to beat the best pitchers from the best teams in the AL.
Can I push back just a little bit?
Sure.
Last year, wasn't Jose's running mate horrid the entire postseason? Wasn't Josh Naylor horrible at the end of the year?
Yeah, it's true.
And they were still a headache, right? It's like hard to explain.
Yeah, they're just pesky.
They have a level of devil magic, is what it is.
Yeah, they just make you earn it. And you don't. And when you face a team that has a $65 million active payroll, you feel like you don't have to earn it. And then they take advantage of that. And so it's just one of those things where you never know when this offense's faucet is going to close. And when they're not going to score any runs is the hard part. You just never know when it's going to. It literally happens at the most random times. And the problem is you don't know when it's going to turn off, and then you don't know when it's going to turn on again.
Sometimes it takes a week.
Sometimes it takes 10 games to turn on again. And so, and the thing, but the difference, the main difference,
Wait,
the
here, real quick,
offense,
before you continue. If the Guardians make the playoffs, that means I wouldn't want to see them, or not maybe not want to see them. It means that they're going to be a headache for somebody because if they make the playoffs, that means they got really hot to get there, and I
yeah,
think that worries people. I think
that's
that
true. That's a great point. That's a great point. The difference between this Guardians team and their playoff magic is that they don't have the same bullpen that strikes fear
You're right.
into other teams.
You're right. You're
Because
right.
last year, if the Guardians went into the 6th inning with the lead, it was probably over. Like Detroit, when we were up, like anytime we were up late in the 6th inning on, the game was over.
Mm-hmm.
And nobody was like, and the other team knows that. And that's a hard way to play baseball.
Because you start pressing those first 3 times of the lineup. Like you feel like you have to go 2 for 3 or 1 for 3, or else your team's going to lose.
And so it's just, to me, that's the main difference. But like for these young, and I for a while I didn't want them to make the playoffs. This is a bad thing to say, but I'm going to say it. I didn't want them to make the playoffs because I didn't want Paul Dolan to have the reason to not continue to not spend. However, these young kids getting the experience to play playoff baseball again, it's only good. Only good things can come from that. Only good things can come from that.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's the trade-off.
And then if you're Antonetti, if you make the playoffs this year, you have to go to the front office and say, look, we got young players. They're going to be really good. We got a bunch of guys with a payroll of $750,000. Give me 30 to 40 to go spend.
Yeah. Give me a chance to make a real run at this.
Yeah. Like, let me bring in a Trent Grisham for 20. Like, let me go get 1 or 2 bats, a right-handed bat. Like, give me a green light to move assets for Adley Rutschman. Like, do something for me because we already.
Why don't you explain the Adley Rutschman, why that would be a great deal to Guardians fans?
Okay, so here we go. I have been in this rabbit hole because that's what I do. Tyler will tell you that. And something that the Orioles did that kind of maybe went unnoticed by a lot of Guardians fans was they signed their top prospect, who's a catcher, who made his major league debut this year, to I believe, an 8-year extension as a rookie. You would only do that if either you didn't believe in Adley or didn't believe Adley was signed. Adley has 2 years of control left and has not signed the extension with the Orioles. They essentially gave up on him and signed his backup and like, all right, we're going to make you the keys, give you the key to the car in the future. Adley has 2 years left, and the Orioles, who don't spend a ton of money also, would suggest they would try to get what they can for him, and he's having a little bit of a down year offensively. But he's a switch-hitting catcher who has posted 3 WAR every season he's been in the league, and more importantly, maybe most importantly, he's college teammates and very good friends with Stephen Kwan, who has also not signed an extension. If I'm Cleveland and I'm Antonetti, I go to Kwan and I offer him a deal. And it's like, look,
for less than he probably deserves, by the way.
For less than $100 million. And I go to him, hey, look, we'll send you a short-term, less than $100 million deal. Will you sign this if we go get Adley Rutschman right now? And that's why I asked Tyler this morning, because here we go. This is what Adley does, in theory. Kwan, Adley, Hosey as your top 3. And then you can have Manzardo hit cleanup. And then Bazana as a lineup resetter, as a secondary leadoff hitter with some pop that he's showing in AAA as your 5. What you're going to then do is you go left-handed, switch. Adley gives you pop. He plays every day. You don't have to see Bo Naylor or Austin Hedges. And he's going to see a lot of pitches because he's in front of Hosey.
Just saying, Adley Rutschman, as long as he has a heartbeat in the batter's box, he's better than Bo Naylor and Austin Hedges.
A heartbeat, and he's a switch hitter.
Continue.
He's got 2 years left, so you could trade for him. And if you can't get him to sign, then you can move him for a haul the same way we saw Seattle, acquire Suarez. So you get flexibility. You keep Kwan, and you also add pop to that lineup, and that 1 through 5 plays really well, and you don't put pressure on Bazana to be carry your offense, but you let him kind of be a guy that sees pitches as a second leadoff guy hitting at 5, and then behind him you could put whoever you don't include in the Adley Rushman deal, and you have all of a sudden 1 through 5 good. And if you get some sort of pop, if it's Arias behind him, you still remain dangerous throughout the lineup. It makes the lineup longer. Guys see more pitches, and you're able to move from Manzardo from being protected to offering protection.
Correct. So the thing about it is, I think Adley Rushman is still going to demand a decent size haul. I don't know if it's going to be a pretty sizable haul. So what I would be willing to move, Baltimore needs pitching
Badly.
The first thing I'm offering is I'm asking them if they'll take if they're interested in Tanner Bybee at all. Please allow me to get off that contract.
And that could be an attractive contract, first of all. Because like Tanner Bybee, well, I think you're frustrated with him as a Guardians fan. He is somebody that I think teams can look at the upside and say, okay, if he gets back to that form and potentially gets better, like his arc suggests, we're talking about a really good contract for a starting pitcher who took a discount to sign with the Guardians.
Yeah. So I'm offering Tanner Bybee. I'm probably also offering the Stephen kid who we acquired in the Shane Bieber deal. I think you're going to have to give them some sort of upper pitching prospect, something along those lines. Okay. The next thing is like, okay, what position players am I willing to move off of as well? The next player that I'm willing to move is Chase DeLauter. If I'm able to keep Stephen Kwan, I don't need to keep Chase DeLauter.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're not going to take Nolan Jones. Nobody's taking Nolan Jones.
Not a soul wants Nolan Jones.
Nobody wants Nolan Jones. So if you want to make this deal, you're going to have to give up something that you want to keep. And Chase DeLauter is something that you're going to want to keep. The next piece is I'm asking them that if they're interested, what else do they want? I don't think they want a middle infielder. I don't think they need one because they have Gunnar Henderson and they have Jackson Holiday.
Yeah, they're good in the middle infield. They're going to need a center. They're going to need a center fielder probably at some point.
So then I'm asking them if they want Martinez as well. I'll give them. So my package would be Tanner Bybee, the Stephen kid, that's in Akron, Chase DeLauter, and Angel Martinez. And I think that's a lot.
I think that absolutely is a lot, and I think that probably should get it done.
Because I believe, one, I'm personally out on Chase DeLauter. I'm over it. I'm over the injuries. I'm over the, he can't stay healthy. It's just not. It's not working for me. I'm not holding my breath. I can't rely on it. So to me, he's an immovable asset. And I personally think CJ Kayfus is just going to be better. And CJ Kayfus can play first base.
So you're keeping Kayfus in all this deal.
Correct. I want to keep CJ Kayfus really bad.
So then here we go. Bazana Kayfus at 5'6". Bazana Kayfus.
Arias.
Dog. That lineup, literally, that lineup does something for you that we haven't.
I mean, that lineup is the best lineup they've had since probably 2018. When they had Francisco Lindor, Jose Ramirez, Carlos Santana, prime Carlos Santana, who was a good player, Edwin Encarnacion, and Jay Bruce. 2018 was the year that they won 22 games in a row.
Develop and go throw $30 million at the pitching staff. And you run with that lineup. I'm telling you, dude, you could GM the Guardians right now. Fucking send this video as your resume.
And what I'm also doing is I'm calling Shane Bieber and asking if he wants to come back.
Yeah, I mean, if you have $30 million invested in the yeah, then you come out on top.
$22 million for Shane Bieber, then I can go get 8 for a veteran. We're cooking. And we're at $107 million of payroll.
Tyler, I think you just solved the Guardians.
Potentially.
If
they make the playoffs, who would your 3 starting arms be? You need 3. Gavin Williams is 1. Gavin Williams is 1.
Huh?
Gavin Williams is a starting pitcher in the playoffs.
I'm
Who's your
pitching
other
Gavin.
two?
I'm pitching Gavin 1, Parker 2, Bybee 3.
I'm not pitching Tanner Bybee.
Why?
I'm pitching Logan Allen.
Okay.
He's just been better.
Yeah.
He's been the better pitcher. You know.
No,
I'm
pitching Bybee. I'm pitching Bybee.
And here's what I would say. I would look at the Astros. I haven't looked at the Astros roster. It just depends on what their splits are. If they're better against left-handed pitching, I'm pitching Logan Allen. If they're better against, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Because you have to declare it before the round starts. You can't wait and see what happens. So I guess you could carry both. I mean, you would carry both of them. You would carry Logan Allen and Tanner Bybee on the active roster.
Yeah.
You could choose. If Gavin Williams loses and Parker Messick wins and they struggle with a left-handed arm, you can pitch Logan Allen. Just because, and I think Guardians fans need to understand this, and they need to yell this from the rooftops, just because they pay Tanner Bybee does not mean they owe him. When it comes to the playoffs, you pitch the best guys.
But front offices don't operate that way. Sometimes you got to go earn that money.
I mean, he's not making the $20 million this year. This year he's making 10.
Yeah.
We'll see. I mean, yeah, I think Logan Allen and Tanner Bybee make the roster, the wild card roster.
I mean, they're going to make the wild card roster 100%.
I don't think I don't know if Cantillo makes the roster.
Cantillo makes the roster.
Well, do you pitch Cantillo or do you pitch Ciccone in the bullpen?
Well, I think Cantillo's value is that he is, in a 5-game series or a 7-game series, he is the blow up guy.
I'm just talking about the wild card, which is a 3-game series.
3 games. Well, I think if someone starts bleeding early in the game, you quick hook them, and Cantillo can give you innings and eat innings up.
So can Ciccone.
You're right. Who would you rather eat the innings? Maybe Slade. Here's the thing. I think Slade stinks, dude. I think he's so bad.
The tough part is, what's interesting about the Guardians is they got a whole bunch of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hydes.
Bro, and he's one of them. And
he took a no-hitter into the 8th or the 9th, dude. Not 8th.
I can't do it with him, dude.
Who are you?
We don't know. He doesn't know.
Because the lefties out of the pen are going to be Sobrowski and Tim Herron.
Mm-hmm.
So do you want, because Smith, Gaddis, Sobrowski, Herron, Junis, and Festa. Yeah, Festa coming out of my mouth tastes like rubbing alcohol.
Blood almost just threw up on a shot.
Yeah. I'm glad that there is some high leverage baseball. I really want those games against Detroit in Cleveland to mean a lot because I want to go. So we'll see. Browns. Mr. Aaron Goldhammer is at it again, Chris.
Oh God, yeah.
He opened his mouth and said some foul shit once more. Basically saying that Shedeur Sanders shouldn't wear a backwards hat and sunglasses on the sidelines.
Can I get your unfiltered and honest take on that take from him?
Sure. It's just a guy who's looking for reasons to not like somebody. And it's a guy who is looking to say something that other people will agree with for certain reasons that shouldn't have anything to do with sports.
Right. Super clear cut right there. I got you.
Because there's pictures of Joe Burrow wearing a hat backwards and sunglasses on when he wasn't playing, when he was injured. He was he needs to be locked into the game. Since when does sunglasses mean you're not locked into the game? Also, he wasn't even on the active roster, Chris. He was the emergency quarterback.
Yeah.
He wasn't the only reason he would even be in. Even if Joe Flacco got hurt, he still wouldn't be available to play. He would only be available to play if Joe Flacco and Dylan Gabriel got hurt. He's not. He wasn't even on the active roster.
And also,
what am I lock it in for? And the only reason why we saw him in sunglasses and a hat is because he was consoling the kicker who missed the kick, being a good human being and a good teammate. Like, why is this even a thing? He wants to be fucking Colin Cowherd because Colin Cowherd said that about somebody else.
About Baker Mayfield.
He said it about Baker Mayfield.
Yeah.
And guess what? The next year, Tom Brady was wearing his fucking hat backwards.
And it became like a satire thing for Colin Cowherd.
Correct. It's like, why?
How long of an episode did we do after the Browns game on Sunday?
Like an hour. It was actually an hour on the dot.
Really good episode. Go check it out if you haven't already. How many times do we bring up Shedeur Sanders?
Never. Not on one time.
The Browns are playing football now. You don't have to chase whatever with a third-string quarterback.
Yeah, and it's just like, and Tony Rizzo is like, he's the biggest Shedeur Sanders cheerleader there is. So Tony, brought it up about Shedeur, but like that was Goldhammer's take. It was like he should be paying attention, shouldn't be drawing attention to himself. The only reason why we saw him is because, like I said, he was consoling the kicker who just missed a kick.
Yeah.
Nobody talked about him. Nobody brought him up. He didn't force his way into the camera. It's not like he knew the camera was going to be there.
Yeah. He's been quiet all camp. He's been quiet all week.
Nobody said a word about him.
Nobody.
The only person that did say a word about it was Skip Bayless, because Skip Bayless said if the Shedeur would have played, they would have won the game.
Which, shout out Skip. Never change.
Skip Bayless won't chase for anybody.
No, he will not.
But it's just, to me, it's just a guy just looking to say something that gets some attention. And it's just a shame that, that's who Cleveland fans are listening to. They have to listen to. They don't have to. They can listen to us.
Real. Plug Tyler McCormick.
But, it's just... And Tony Rizzo pushed back hardcore on it, which was great. What do you think the Browns need to do to cover the spread? Because it is the most trappiest trap spread I ever did see. The spread is 11.5. Do you think there's a world where they cover the spread?
I think Vegas saw Baltimore put up that 41 or 40 burger against the Bills and was like...
Do we think the Browns defense is better than the Bills?
I don't think so, but I don't know if that's my preconceived belief on the Bills always being a tough-nosed defensive trench warfare team.
The thing that I think about when I think of the Bills, I think their offense is awesome because Josh Allen's awesome. But I find them in a lot of shootouts in big games. When the weather is
getting shootouts every now and again.
They do get in a lot of shootouts.
I mean, they invested so much money in Josh Allen, that would make sense, right? That tends to happen when teams put so much money into the quarterback.
Yeah. The Ravens and Browns have played a lot of in the last 3 years, the Browns and Ravens are 5. They're 3-3 against each other. I mean, the Browns beat the Ravens last year.
Yeah.
They won 3 games.
3 games.
So it's just it's just a confusing thing because I think when the Ravens drafted the safety, they drafted who's the safety they just drafted? Damn it.
Which one?
This year, this past draft.
Oh. I know it's not the one I wanted.
Malachi Starks.
Oh, yeah.
They drafted Malachi Starks, and I was like...
That's the Georgia kid. Him and Hamilton are crazy.
I texted you, I was like, bro, that was a nice pick.
No, Malachi Starks is nasty, man. He was the best freshman safety I had seen until I saw Caleb Downs.
So the question is the Bengals defense really bad? They have really bad secondary, and Josh Allen's really good? I'm not asking this the right way. Do we believe in what Joe Flacco did against Bengals? He can do against the Ravens because Josh Allen carved the Ravens up. Can Joe Flacco do that?
I think if he gets hot, he can.
I mean, this is a homecoming for Joe Flacco as well. There's gonna be a lot of
it is
motivation for him as well.
I mean, did he accomplish more there than Lamar did?
Yeah, he won a fucking Super Bowl.
Yeah, I know, but no MVPs. I don't want to start this.
It's okay, Cam Newton. You want MVPs or you want a Super Bowl? Which one do you want?
Me personally, give me the MVP.
No, I mean it's.
I think that 11 is like giving a lot of respect to what Lamar Jackson and that offense can do. I think that's solely what it has to do with.
But like, again, I said this on Sunday or Monday. No, yeah, Monday. The Browns don't get blown out very much.
They don't.
And like 11 points in the NFL is kind of a blowout.
No, that's 100% a blowout.
So like it doesn't happen very much. Am I just afraid of this number because I may not believe in the Browns? Because like my instincts are telling me like the Browns are going to cover the spread. Mm-hmm. They're going to lose by like at most they'll lose by 10. But there's also a world where like they get beat by like 3 touchdowns.
And then it's like how does this next game reflect? I mean, dude, we just saw the Dolphins get blown out. So I don't know, dude. I have no clue.
You know what's sad is like we're not even discussing like how they win this game. We're just talking about them covering the spread.
Are you giving your picks today or on a different show?
No, I'm going to do it tomorrow. I'm going to record a nice solo video. You're going to see just me on just my face.
Big Tyler.
And that'll come out. The Browns piece will probably come out Saturday.
Yeah.
But yeah. No, I'm not touching this game in my official picks. I'll give my score for the Browns game on the episode I put out there, but I don't know how this team is going to recover from 0-2. You know, I don't know like what happens to this team if they go 0-2.
I mean, I guess they've been there before.
They know right. Like I don't. They don't.
I guess like I mean, it puts down like the fake dream. Like the playoffs were never happening for this team.
No, and so Mike, like the only reason I'm asking that question is I'm saying that because Myles Garrett signed a very large contract
in the hopes to win,
and like I don't believe him for 1 second that he believes that they have a chance to win. But if that's the case, like there's no way like Joel Bitonio came back because he thought they had a chance because they're running Stefanski's offense. I mean, if the Browns go out there and win this game, it would be one of the biggest upsets in the NFL, like during the whole season. On the road at Baltimore,
yeah,
they're coming off of blowing a 3-score lead,
and and Baltimore's not. I mean, you never want to start the year 0-2. What's the number? It's like a crazy percentage. You start the year 0-2, you don't make the playoffs. And like for Baltimore,
if both teams are desperate to not go 0-2, you take the more talented desperate team, correct?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And you take the quarterback that you know is the MVP caliber player. Is what I believe.
Yeah. All right. There's one I do want to ask you real quick before we go to our Hear Me Outs. There is a team that has a chance to start 0-2. Who are you picking in the Eagles at the Chiefs? Super Bowl rematch. The Eagles are 1.5-point underdog.
I like the Eagles.
So the Eagles go to Arrowhead, beat the Chiefs. The Chiefs are 0-2.
Yeah, I like the Eagles.
If that happens, is this like a year where the Chiefs just like
I think they're the rare exception where they'll just go on a run and slaughter a bunch of other teams.
Okay.
I just think the Eagles are really good. And like the Eagles have the recipe for what travels, right? Defense, run game, right? Like they've got the recipe for what travels.
Yeah. I think I read a thing that Patrick Mahomes' record after a loss is like ungodly. It's like
374-1.
It's like 800. It's literally. I think his record was like 18-3 after a loss.
He's so good.
So,
what do you got? Hear me out, wise.
This is super random, but the pettiest person on earth is 50 Cent.
Facts.
And part of the reason why I can't get behind you on the Floyd Mayweather thing, is when I watch a video of 50 Cent challenging Floyd Mayweather to read a page of Harry
You can
Potter.
read one page of this Harry Potter book. Hey man, someone ever do a video like that, bro? I'm violent. I hate you,
Bro, 50 Cent bought every ticket in the first 2 rows of a Ja Rule concert just so nobody would go.
Yeah, dude, literally electric, dude, electric.
I mean, name your 3 people that you wouldn't want to get on their bad side.
50 Cent, Cam Newton.
Not from a physical reason, like a verbal.
Dog, I'm watching Cam Newton verbally destroy Gilly day in and day out, and I like that is horrifying.
Yeah.
Horrifying.
Who's your other one? Because those are my top 2 as well.
Yeah, that's my 2. And then I don't know who my third is. Maybe Nicki Minaj.
Mine's Eminem. I don't need Eminem to rap about me.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I'll probably take it all.
But 50 Cent is just like, if you're curious of why I'm saying this, just go research 50 Cent petty moments, and your jaw will drop. There's some things that he's done that I don't want to say on this platform because we're trying to be somewhat of an appropriate show. But some of the stuff that he's done is really impressive.
You know what my take is? And I've been playing this for a while. I think the single worst thing to clean up, like worse than dishes, worse than cleaning up like dog poop in the backyard, worse than stepping on dog poop, and it really shouldn't be the grossest thing. Cleaning hair out of the shower is the worst thing in the world. I hate cleaning someone else's hair out of the shower drain, dude. I don't know what it is, but something about wet hair freaks me out, gives me the heebie-jeebies, and I can't explain it. And I think it's maybe because it's not mine, but I hate cleaning hair out of the shower.
That's a you thing, brother.
Really?
Yeah.
Fine.
I mean, it's not even close. It's not. Dude, I don't even think it's in my top 10.
Really? It makes me jump, dude. I don't know why.
Cleaning up dog throw up.
Oh, well, dog throw up's also awful.
Dog throw is probably the worst because it's hot. Like actually hot. Like
that makes me want to throw up right now.
Yeah. Yeah, man. No, yeah. I remember I was working at the golf course when I was coaching, and I would work at the golf course in the summertime just to make some extra money. And there was a deer that was killed by some coyotes, and the carcass was just left out there.
You had to clean that up.
We had to go clean it up. It was in the middle of the fairway. Like I had to move it.
Coyotes just doing the most.
The smell.
Y'all gotta be able to call someone for that because that's repulsive.
Yeah. I don't know, but yeah, I'm going to be doing a solo show because I have a wedding. My sister-in-law is getting married on Saturday, so boo for fall weddings. But she did in her defense, in her and her future husband's defense, they did ask me when they got engaged, which they were looking at a fall wedding, and they said, which weekend should we not do it on? And I said, as long as you don't do it on a Texas weekend, you're going to be all right.
That's really incredible you would ask that. Because I'm not asking you shit.
Yeah.
That's good.
I also did tell them that if it was a Texas game that I wasn't going to come to the wedding. So
what is it, the Magic Johnson? I'm not going to be there.
I'm not going to be there.
So that's Tyler. I'm Chris.
Peace.